So what exactly does MIT look for? Obviously, there's not like a straight cookie cutter answer to this, but there are general things that I see in a lot of my friends who applied and got into MIT, and those include, for example, collaborative and cooperative spirit. So for example, I can say personally that I worked a lot with friends in groups when we're working on problem sets, homework. So that is something that really taught me teamwork and it was really helpful. You can basically see this kind of spirit all over MIT, the Institute. For example, some of my final projects or group projects, there's a lot of collaboration, not just between individual students, but also between departments. For example, some of my favorite classes were not just in the CS department, but also in the neuroscience department or in the math department. So in terms of why collaboration, cooperative spirit is important, honestly, if in the real world, you can't really just rely on yourself when it comes to doing a task well, whether you're in industry, whether you're in academia, it doesn't matter. In all different aspects, all different jobs, oftentimes you really do need the help of others, or to really need to collaborate with others. So that's like kind of MIT doesn't look for lone wolves. MIT really looks for people who can get along with others and can really, really um, work together effectively. Something else that MIT looks for is initiative. So by this, there are a lot of really cool opportunities at MIT. For example, we have this program called Europe, which is the undergrad research opportunity program. Essentially, for the Europe program, it takes a lot of students who actually haven't done research in the past. So for me, I went into MIT wanting to study biology. I didn't actually end up studying biology. I ended up studying computer science, but because I didn't have any previous experience in computer science, I was a bit apprehensive initially because like, oh, maybe professors only want to take students in to this Euro program who have previous computer science research. And I've done biology research, not computer science research. However, it worked out well. The Europe is very, very open to first year students who don't have opportunities in the past to do research. So I was able to do research for about 2 years with my first professor, and I think went really well. So that's only one example of many of the opportunities as well. Also, MIT has, for example, if you're interested in entrepreneurship, MIT has a sandbox project. Essentially, you can apply with the idea, and if it's accepted, then it gives you funding to continue the idea. And also interesting lectures. There are a lot of really, really good professors and really cool classes and lectures. So this just essentially means that you have all of these initiatives at your fingertips, but you have to have the actual initiative and the actual drive to take advantage of them. Yep. Something else MIT does look for is risk taking. So like I mentioned, quite a few people at MIT are very interested in entrepreneurship and startup ideas. I personally had a friend who actually dropped out of MIT for a couple of years to work on a startup where she and her business partner actually created self-serve boba machines. So I thought that was really cool. Essentially, MIT also thinks that people who take risks are people who will succeed because it's very cliche, but as the old adage goes, failure is the mother of success. So essentially, resilience is something you can learn from risk taking, and we think that the most creative and successful people really are not afraid of failure, and know that if you don't succeed the first time, that's totally fine. And if you don't give up, the goals are ultimately realized. Also, something that MIT looks for is intensity, curiosity, and excitement. So basically, quality over quantity is something that I really, really internalized at MIT. For context, when I was in high school, I would say that I did most of my activities really well, but I did a lot of activities. And when I got to MIT, I realized that, oh, I don't actually have enough time to do everything that I want to do. So that's like fine. But I guess kind of the hard thing was there were just so many things that I wanted to do at MIT that I couldn't. But I think it's a really helpful skill to have to know how to prioritize your time and how to pick what you truly want to do. So that's definitely what I got better at throughout MIT. And that's definitely something that you should internalize before MIT, just knowing exactly what makes you happy, what is efficient for you, what will be better for you, and then choosing those over other things that may not be as important to you, essentially. But in general, no matter what you do, something that I have found in my friends, all of my friends at MIT, is basically that we are all really, really passionate about things. It doesn't like usually it's not, I mean, oftentimes it's not academic things. For example, I have friends who really, really like dancing. I love to sing, so I was an a cappella group. I had friends who did like fire spinning, which I thought was super cool, and a lot of other extracurricular activities. So just to make sure that you can showcase your passion of your activities in your application. And something else that MIT looks for is alignment with MIT's mission. So MIT's mission is to try to make essentially, like at a high level, try to make the world a better place. Um, but it doesn't have to be, curing cancer, or it doesn't have to be like something super, super they're out there that no one else has done before. I think something that MIT does realize and does like is that you can make a difference in your own little way. And as long as it's a positive difference, that's kind of what we look for. So, for example, tutoring is something I did when I was in high school. Loving a senator, that's another example. Yeah, I've had friends who have volunteered at animal shelters, things like that. In general, just basically try to be a good person and try to just make the world a better place in your own little way. Next, what MIT looks for is hands-on creativity. So MIT is definitely very active. It's a very hands-on place. We have maker spaces, and we really have a lot of different projects that involve like buildings. So for example, my dorm at MIT, every year we construct either a roller coaster or a fort in the courtyard, and then we in the beginning of the year. So that's a really cool opportunity for even like first years to get experience, because for example, when I helped build the fort, I had really never held a tool in my life, like a building tool. So basically, it was a really good learning experience. That's something that MIT really fosters. It fosters basically builder culture, I would say, and fosters creativity. So our Latin motto, mens e manus, I can't really pronounce it, means mind and hand. So this means that we ask that you don't just spend time studying and thinking, that you also put in effort and put in time into actually creating the physical objects. Because obviously, knowing how to plan and knowing how to think in a theoretical space is very important. But in order to make an impact in the real world, it's also very important to be able to bring your ideas to life. Also, what MIT looks for is character. So, like I talked about this previously, but MIT just really looks for people who want to make a positive impact in their own way in the world. So that kind of also percolates down not just to the world, but also to the community members of MIT at large. So essentially, I would say that, and I'm not just saying this because I went to MIT, I think that literally everyone I've met at MIT has been really humble, really, really eager to help one another out. I think that's something I cannot say for some other universities out there, but I think for MIT it truly is the case. But everyone I've met has been just really, really genuine and really, really, really eager to work together, to care for one another, and who build up each other. So that's like definitely something that I truly do see in the community, and it's not just something that is like the MIT says they're looking for. I think they genuinely do select for these kind of people when they read applications. And next, ability to prioritize balance. So this is something that I personally struggled with because there are just so many things I wanted to do there. However, priorities are important. You have to prioritize, and learn how to balance your schoolwork versus your social life versus your sleep versus your extracurriculars versus like other miscellaneous fun stuff. So essentially, being able to find that balance is important, and it's not something that you absolutely need going into university, but it's something that you'll learn. So knowing and thinking about this before you actually end up at MIT is something that's actually could be quite useful. And it's something that I personally didn't really think about too much, but I learned throughout MIT.